Good afternoon, students. Today I am going to discuss chapter 4, Soil Erosion and Conservation. Okay. Now this chapter had already been taught by your Somoses sir. Okay. Again today I am going to recapitulate some of the main points. Okay. Now, soil erosion. We know that soil is very important for us because soil provides us the main thing, that is the food. Whatever food we are eating from the plants or animal, directly or indirectly it is coming from the soil. Now it is very important for us that we have to conserve it, to protect it, and to maintain it. Okay. So this is the soil erosion. So what is soil erosion? The process of wearing down or carrying away of the soil by the natural forces is called soil erosion. Now regarding the natural forces are the wind or the running water. Okay. The wind you have seen in the film or television or in the video footage, the wind are taking away the topsoil, or the running water is also taking away the topsoil. So this is the soil erosion. Now during soil erosion, the main thing, the topsoil, we all know that it contains the most fertile part of the soil and it provides the humus to the soil. It removes the topsoil as well as the humus. Okay. Now as the topsoil get removed, it also reduce the organic matter, that is the humus, and break the soil structure. Now during this breaking and removal, the main part of the soil get removed. Now when the main part of the soil get removed, then there is a loss of nutrients for the plants. Now when the plant will not get the sufficient nutrient, obviously it will hamper the crop production. So it is very important that we have to conserve or protect the topsoil. Okay. Now if the main thing are not there, then how the crops will be produced? So the plant will also be unable to produce the crops. Okay. Now next topic is the causes of the soil erosion. The main causes of the soil erosion are the wind, water obviously, but human activities like cutting of the trees is one of the biggest cause of the soil erosion. Nowadays you have seen that flats are made, highways are built, dams are built, new school colleges are built. Obviously the human activities cut the total forest from that part. Okay. So what is deforestation? Deforestation is the process of cutting down of the trees on large scale. If you cut one tree, then it is not called deforestation. Okay. If there are many trees, okay, so cutting down of the trees on the large scale is called the deforestation. Now due to deforestation, now we are able to see the highway, now we are able to see the big buildings, big malls, big cinema halls, big flats, and so. Okay, so you can ask your guardian also that those areas where there are now there is highway. Okay, you can see that previously there were lot of plants were there, or big trees are there. Okay, so deforestation, it is the cutting down of the trees on large scale, big trees. Okay, that is called the deforestation. Now see, the next point is soil erosion increases when. Now soil erosion increases when we cut down the trees on large scale, big trees. Okay. Number 2, there is a strong blowing of the wind. Number 3, that it rains heavily. Okay. And number 4, crop rotation is not practiced. Crop rotation is also very important. Now next topic is effect of soil erosion. What are the effect of the soil erosion? Effect means impact. Okay. Now due to soil erosion, the topsoil loses its fertility. As I have told you earlier, all the main ingredients of the soil, all the main things of the soil are present in the topsoil, that is the humus. Okay. Now because of the soil erosion, the topsoil would lose the fertility, and as the fertility would get loose, then the soil will gradually turn into a barren land. Barren land means the land where no crops are grown. See, I have written here on my book also, you can note down in your book also. Barren land means no crops can be grown. Okay. So if the topsoil get removed, then the land will slowly turn into a barren land. So we cannot grow crops anymore. Okay. Second, the plant cannot hold the soil properly. Third, the soil would lose its moisture, minerals and nutrient as it gets eroded. Due to soil erosion, the moisture, okay, you underline the points, the moisture, the minerals and the nutrients get eroded, and hence the nutrients get eroded, then crops will not grown in those area, and if grown the production will not be so as expected. Okay. Next point is soil can change the size and shape of the land. Soil erosion can change the size and shape of the land, and you have seen that in Amphan, the footage you have seen in your television also. During this Amphan recently, okay, the big trees got uprooted and it destroyed the land surface, leading to landslide also. Okay. So when the big trees get uprooted, then there is a chances of the landslide as well as soil erosion, because the big trees hold the soil properly, and due to the holding of the tree roots properly, the chance of soil erosion is very less. So we have to plant more and more trees. Okay. Now soil conservation. What do you mean by soil conservation? Soil conservation means how we can save the soil from soil erosion. Okay. We cannot stop the soil erosion, but we can at least take some measures to reduce it, to save it. Suppose your father is giving you 10 rupees to eat, so you eat 5 rupees or 6 rupees, so you can save 5 rupees or 4 rupees, it is your choice. So whatever we earn today, we have to save for our future. Similarly, in soil erosion, we have to try to reduce the soil erosion, because if the whole topsoil would get eroded, then there will be no crops and nothing we have to eat. Neither the plants will get anything to eat, neither we will get anything to eat. Okay. Now soil conservation, the practice of prevention of the soil erosion is called the soil conservation. Okay. Now what are the tips? See, the first tip is the afforestation. Okay, you underline it in your book, it is also written. Afforestation is just the opposite of the deforestation. Okay. In deforestation, there were cutting of the trees on large scale, but afforestation is the planting of the trees on large scale. So nowadays you have seen that all the state government and the central government are trying to plant trees. Okay, because to increase the afforestation. Okay, now recently you have seen that the World Environment Day, 5th June, many actors or many leaders have planted the trees. Okay. So afforestation is the only one way, which is the best way to prevent from the soil erosion. Okay. Now second point is that water flowing at a speed take away the topsoil. During rainy season, you have seen that when the water is flowing, the speed of the water is very high. Okay. Now in order to protect our soil, we can build the dams. Now dams should be built across the river to stop the flood. Okay. Now in our locality in Asansol, we can see the dam in Maithan. Okay. I hope many of you had visited Maithan, in Panchet and in Moradi. So in our locality there are 2 or 3 dams, and you can see that how the dams are built, and the dams protect the from soil erosion. Okay. Now next point is crop rotation. Crop rotation means growing different crops one after another, that is called the crop rotation. Okay. Now soil can recover its minerals, nutrients naturally. Okay. If different crops are grown on the farmland, this practice of growing different crops on the farmland is called the crop rotation. Now for more about crop rotation, you will learn in class 9 also. Okay. So crop rotation is what? The practice of growing the crops one after another is called the crop rotation, so that the minerals and the nutrients can naturally recovered by this practice. Okay. Now number fourth point is that no open land should be left, because if the land is open, then the wind will blow and the wind will carry the topsoil. So we should try to plant more and more trees or small plants, so that the topsoil should not be taken by the strong winds. Okay, so it is written clearly, see, so trees and bushes should be planted in such areas. But misfortunately I have not seen that when I go by train or by bus, there are many land which are left unopen. Okay, now there were no plant, no trees, so in these areas there will be a soil erosion also. Now number fifth point, during rainy season, tall mud walls called bunds are built on the side of the river. Okay, it is also one of the way it prevents the soil erosion by holding the water between the river banks. Okay, now last point is the terrace farming. Terrace farming you can see only in the hilly areas. We know that the on the hill areas the rainwater flows very fast, very quickly. Okay, now when it flow very quickly or fast, then it carries a lot of topsoil. Now when it carries the lot of topsoil, so we have to reduce it. So this is the only method of terrace farming. So terrace farming can only be taken place only in the hilly areas, not in the plain areas. Okay, so I think you have understood it. Okay, so the again I am repeating some of the main points. Number one is the soil erosion. The soil erosion is a process in which there is a wearing down or carrying away of the soil by the natural forces, by the wind or running water. Okay, now deforestation. Deforestation is the cutting of the trees on large scale. It is called the deforestation. Okay, and next is the afforestation. Afforestation means planting of the trees on large scale. So afforestation and deforestation are the just opposite words. Okay, and crop rotation, just now I have told you that the growing of the different crops on the same farmland so that the soil can recover its mineral nutrients is called the crop rotation. Okay, now whenever there is a open land, we should try to plant some of the trees, okay, or small plants, so that we can protect the soil from the soil erosion. So the main thing is that we should try our best to protect the soil, because if there is no soil, if there is no topsoil, then we will not get anything to eat. Neither the plants will get anything to eat, neither the animals will get anything to eat. So it is very much necessary for all of us to protect the soil. Okay, so I hope that you have understood it. Okay, now she come to the science boys, that is the exercise. Now number one, fill in the blanks, is the dash is very important for us. Okay, so number one will be the soil. Okay, number two, plant bind the soil firmly with their roots. You have seen that if you uproot a plant, you will observe that the plant hold the soil very tightly. So the root hold the soil very firmly or tightly. Number third, dash of trees is called deforestation. Dash of trees means cutting of trees. Just now I have told you. So cutting of trees is called deforestation. Okay. Number four, erosion can change the size and shape of the land. So erosion, soil erosion can change the size and shape of the land. Okay. Number fifth is dash flows quickly on hillside. Just I have told you that in hilly areas or mountain area, the rainwater flows very fast. So the rainwater, so answer will be rainwater. So number one answer is soil. You write in your book. Okay, I am repeating. Number one answer is soil. Number two answer is roots. Number three answer is cutting. Number four is size and shape. And number fifth is rain water. Okay. Now next is be true and false. So number one, erosion reduces level of soil organic matter. You write true. Okay, as I have see I have written in my book. Number two, deforestation is the main cause of soil erosion. You write true. The most fertile subsoil come to the surface. False. and last is a soil eroded land turns rocky. You write true. Okay, so these are the true and false, and you have to write this thing in your copy also. Okay, now regarding number C and number D, you see all the question answers are given in the book and it is also highlighted. Okay, so you can write the answer directly from the book, but you should try to use your own sentence. Suppose I am writing afforestation. Okay, so what is afforestation? So afforestation, you will write that it is the planting of the trees on large scale is called afforestation. You will not need to copy the definition from the book. Okay, you can add something from your own side, no problem. Suppose here it is written planting of trees is called afforestation, so you will write planting, it is the process, afforestation is the process of planting of the trees on large scale. Okay, in this way you have to write. Okay, now if you visit any dam in our locality, Maithan or Panchayat, then you can understand that what is the importance of the dam. Okay, so dam is one of the way to protect from the soil erosion, but it is not possible to construct everywhere dam. Okay, because it is a very costly process, there is many ecological problem, biological problem, and so and so. So you will write the question answer C and D in your copy. Okay, and fill in the blanks, and true false you can write easily as I have shown you. Okay, so I hope there is no problem in understanding this chapter, because it has been revised 2 times by Somosis sir as well as by me. Okay, okay.